Damn, this is getting nuts. I'm watching the bullshit go on. Dude, earlier he was getting booed. There's cheering, but there's booing.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you.
They're kicking this guy out for...
Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore...
By the way, I will warn you guys really want to be careful what this asshole's saying, because it is shown that by the Washington Post, conservative website, that he has said over 30,000 lies in his first term, and don't you dare think he's gonna never say a lie in his second. This guy is found to be a lying piece of shit. And if you go against me, then find me proof where he isn't.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation.
False. When you began, you had a 47% approval, 48% disapproval by Gallup, and now, currently, you have a 45% approval and 51% disapproval rating. Your approval rating is in the negatives. People don't like you.
But we'll take it.
By the way, I'm an independent.
Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and border patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result,
don't know if I'd say it to me.
Border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever.
Yeah, people were starting to boo at this guy. It was funny. Right, this is my first jet, guys. I finally did it.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier.
Oh, look, even my iPad lagged out of the chat. Because even my iPad don't like this shit. My iPad is trying to save me from the cancer I'm watching. Like, oh, the American dream's back. Hey, buddy, I like pennies. You're not making them no more. You're anti-wind. Your little whore friend Musk has basically cut a lot of NWS people and is trying to destroy them. You're actually effing my American dream. So you can eat shit and die.
Stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do.
And before anybody says, "Oh my God, I'm being unpatriotic," this is the guy who belongs to the party that supports police officers that let 1,500 people leave, who drove 5 officers to suicide and killed 1 and assaulted over 100 of them.
Here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
You see, people, liberty dies with thunderous applause. I wouldn't be surprised they start escorting people out.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
Oh my God, really? I don't have stocks on my phone, don't I? We're making America great. By the way, this guy has negative approval rating. His coin, his shit coin, is in the dump. It's in the shit. Literally worth, like, what? $0.0009?
We're doing it.
Tesla is also in the shit. NASDAQ is getting lower. I mean, the entire economy is kind of in shit right now.
Federal hiring, a freeze of all new federal regulations, and a freeze on
Again, guys, I'm independent. So, please don't sue me for the cancer your ears will, you know, take. I mean, look, this guy was literally getting booed a second ago.
terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars.
Trillions of dollars?
Other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization.
Corrupt. Don't even explain how it's corrupt. Just say it's corrupt. Guys, I'm gonna stop playing Roblox. It's corrupt. I'm not gonna explain why it's corrupt. I'm just gonna say it's corrupt. You know this.
We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable.
Far less safe.
Importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic...
Wait a second. Wouldn't you want a mandate like that? Because, you know, it would provide work for factories? Or factory workers? Look. Honestly, I'm not into EVs.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation,
I'm not anti-EV, but look, you know what? If people want to buy EVs, it's America, it's a free market. So, right there, you're basically disrupting a free market. You're going against the American ideal.
and in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
It's basically a threat. That's his entire mentality. He basically threatens people. You don't do what I want, gonna do this, right? You don't give me rare earth minerals? No internet.
Weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out?
End the weaponization of federal government. Got it. False, false. They're bringing false signs. Let's go.
Censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
Free speech in America, except for if you're the Associated Press and you're making news, you can't go in the White House. Free speech, though. Got it. If you're so free speech, why have you banned news from the White House, from AP? Someone literally says this is how I'm watching a chat with somebody because, by the way, he's so much of a coward that he has disabled comments on the live stream. The White House literally is streaming this, and he's disabled comments. He knows he's doing something wrong. He knows he's gonna get pushback. He is afraid. If he's so free speech, right? Why are the comments disabled on his stream? I mean, they're disabled upon many news site streams.
Of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector.
You're basically weaponizing the federal government there now, aren't you? By the way, I just want to let you know, this guy right here, he benefited from DEI, from IEPs, so, F that, I guess. That ain't gonna be around if he is continuing to do this.
Believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender.
Honestly, you should only be hired on the basis of skill, but still. It's the only good thing he said so far. But I really...
Based on merit, and the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you.
Your Supreme Court?
We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders.
Guys, I'm just gonna let you know, with this two-gender thing, we're gonna drive egg prices down. We're gonna do it. This is gonna drive your egg prices down. This is gonna help the economy. Like, dude, less petty bullshit like that, and more actual good stuff, which, well, unfortunately, you're not... Now, I want you to analyze the speech here, right? Right now, let's be honest. Whether you like him or hate him, we gotta admit that transgender people currently are fall guys, right? Oh, something's going wrong. Blame this. Blame that. Blame this group. Oh, Germany. How Germany thought. Oh, we lost World War I? Had to be the Jews, huh? Okay, how do we fix it? Let's execute them. That was their mentality. And look what happened.
Partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
Actually, technically everybody in the United States is a woman because he defined everybody at conception as large cells, which when you start conception, you are an egg. So technically, by law, everybody is a woman in the United States. So enjoy. We achieved feminism.
And if you really want to see numbers, just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently
Recycling?
race.
That came out of... Oh, cycling. I'm sorry. I'm like, what? Recycling? I don't think that was a major sport.
It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country.
Demeaning for... He cares so much about women, which is why he likes to grab them by their privates. Do you need me to... If you guys disagree, do you need me to play the clip? I can pull it up right now. Hollywood Access tape leak. He cares so much about women, but he'll start kissing them without asking them, according to him, and grabbing them.
The entire world. Common sense has become a common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up energy prices, pushed up grocery costs, and drove the necessities of life out of reach in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Economy's going good, guys.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control. And we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
Did I say more?
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation
Trump,
is
the eggs were...
the cost of energy.
The eggs were $6 at my local store a week ago.
Slowed pipeline construction to a halt and closed more than 100 power plants. We are open.
The only way we're gonna make eggs $2 is in selling them in what, freaking packs of 4. Dumb bitch.
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency.
Declares a national energy emergency and then completely terminates offshore wind turbine loans. Genius move. Hey, I'm gonna stop food from coming in the country. Uh-oh, I'm declaring a food emergency. Real smart move there, genius.
It's called Drill, Baby, Drill. My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
And by the way, if you guys think I'm only criticizing the right here, the Democrats here, in my opinion, are pathetic. They are failing to stand up for our rights. They are weak. They're strong ones. They're strong of each side, but this, right now, this shows the weakness of both political parties. One political party is weak, and the other is becoming autocracy. Fuck Doge. I really couldn't care about Doge. Yes, prices are going up. By the way, remember, you voted for Trump and Vance. You did not vote for Musk. No one did. And by the way, if you're like, oh, he's successful, Tesla, his stock is shit. It is at their 3-month low. They're going down.
Thank you. Working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here, even this side, appreciates it, I believe. They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for
Proof?
diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million
25.
to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+.
Holy shit, he actually said it correctly. Good job.
Which nobody has ever heard of.
Good job. You actually said the acronym correctly. Good job.
And Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America.
That's probably the only Republican I've ever seen say that acronym correctly.
Transgender.
Does anybody still believe in this?
This is real. $32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique.
Come on.
$20 million.
Can you believe this shit?
of Sesame Street.
Honestly, I kind of like took a minor amount of stuff that he said true, but after I know that he said 30,000 lies, I can't take anything at face value anymore.
Decarbonization of Homes Committee headed up. We know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well.
So again, if you guys believe what he is saying, go ahead, do it. But I suggest you do research on everything he says that you think is true.
$42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia.
That sounds like a pretty good amount of money. We should help people learn.
You know what we're doing? Use it ourselves. $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people.
Incel virgins called big balls.
Hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
But where's the money gonna go? Where is it gonna go? Please tell me. If you're gonna save this money, you better be telling the American public where it's gonna go. You have the legal obligation to do so. Actually, I said that as, you know, throwaway, but they actually may have the legal obligation to do so. They have to report.
To fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, federal government office, has estimated.
Dude, inflation is horrible. The dollar index is going down.
And we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to.
It is down 0.21%, and it's got a downward trend.
Probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors.
It was going up, but it looks like it's starting to curve.
And people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 100.
That was a misinterpretation of data.
It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly.
Yourself, you old coot.
3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid to many of them. And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck. You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security. It hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159 and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
I don't know if I trust any data from somebody called Big Balls.
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249. And one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years. More than 100 years older than our country.
Wait, what? 100 years older than our country? Actually, never mind. Yep, he did the math correctly.
And it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all
I said 300.
waste and theft we can find.
Can you prove that this is all waste?
Lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors and put
Lower car payments. Hey, dumbass, still paying $450 a month for my car. We're still paying $430. Don't see it. Yeah, I ain't paying any less for my car. I can personally tell you.
today interest rates took a beautiful drop, big beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it. With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail the gold card, which goes on sale very, very soon.
$5 million card for people to come in the United States. And he actually said Russian oligarchs are welcome. Dead ass.
Like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country.
Got it. So we're gonna ignore the fact you own the pageant and like watching people undress.
The Biden administration, the open border, insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country. We will now bring in brilliant, hard-working, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
Trump, you drove our debt up by $26.2 trillion. That is more than Barack Obama's debt that he drove up, and he served twice as long as you did. You, again, he added $26 trillion of debt.
Until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way.
He drove the debt up by 33%.
Founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10 days to get instead take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected.
Can you...
Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work.
Because they've been fired.
We will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
True democracy, but you also said that if you voted for me, you wouldn't have to vote for me ever again. Also, he said that he may have to go for a third term, which is unconstitutional, as the presidency is limited to 2.
Who resist this change will be removed from office immediately.
Any who resist this change will be removed.
Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple.
Listen to that language. We will, if you oppose me, I will get rid of you. That is what he is saying. I will not work with you. I will not deal with you. I will just get rid of you. That sounds very suspicious. That is language of somebody who wants to hurt and not help. And if you can't realize that, I can't help you.
The next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there, they're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that.
Yeah, people will never vote you in office.
This group is going to be voting for
I'm sorry, but from what I've been learning, people are getting really tired of Republicans lately. It sucks because, you know, it's a party I kind of grew up with. I'm not in it anymore. I'm an independent, but I grew up with the Republican Party. It's kind of, to a certain degree, sad to see them go like this. They're supposed to help their people, care for them, not betray them like this.
all across the board. And again, urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation
Yeah,
I'm calling
which is happening right
no
now.
tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on social security benefits for our great seniors.
Didn't he also say he would drive up the average American's salary by 4,000, but then it actually never happened in his first term?
And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
That's bullshit. So basically my Subaru wouldn't apply for it. Cunt.
And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made.
Yeah, about the EV deal, yeah, that's gonna be cut.
It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact,
Orange cunt.
already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world. And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
Your first term, you went negative approval rating.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations.
Yeah, we have, because we actually learned about history.
Tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States. It never was, and so on April 2nd...
Yeah, the system's not fair. It's your system. Your system's not fair.
But I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not just one day, which costs us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd,
Very stupid person.
Tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth.
Okay.
Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
But here's the thing.
Monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market. Then we will do non-monetary barriers.
But here's the thing. Ask yourself, what's really the bad thing about trading with other countries? What is so bad about it? Where we have to tariff the show. And right now, Canada has tariffed us back equally as bad as we tariffed them. We went nowhere. That is not just a stalemate. Everybody lost in that situation. If you think you're going to win from tariffs, think again.
And we will not let that happen any longer.
Think again. See that? Those are some of the biggest tariffs in our country.
3 months about Mexico and
1929 crash is in blue and the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act is in yellow. Where is that chart going? Nowhere.
To our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens. And
Don't either blame a majority of it
people
on
destroying
Canada.
families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are in effect receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada.
Still hasn't mentioned Ukraine.
Billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people love. SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment.
Billion. I'm an Oompa Loompa who sucks asshole.
$500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97%.
Damn it, none of these live streams other than like private journalist live streams will have chat.
Chips on Earth right here in the USA. Giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them
See, look,
no money.
absolute cowards. They know they're going to get feedback. Not bad. Comments are turned off. The White House, by the way, look at that White House.
We just want to protect our businesses.
They don't want kickback. They're too much of scared little bastards that they will not put chat on their stream. They're all cowards.
Trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer.
Well, guess what? China is announcing up to 15% import or tariffs on soybeans. Guess what state that hurts? The one I'm living in right now, Illinois. Most soybeans go to most. Soybeans that we export go to China.
They may be very dirty and
well, 80%.
They come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers starting on April 2nd. May be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China. $50 billion of purchases. And I said,
this is what his mentality is. It's basically F up any economy, screw up any peace deal, screw up everything, and then offer people a way to basically suck him off to please him, and to continue sucking him off to please him more. Again, everything will go right. Everything will go great, because he is not just a president, he's a businessman. He is literally wired in his brain to make the most money and F over everybody else. We need somebody who will cooperate, who will bind with people, who will help others, and basically team up. Not someone who will divide.
Of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly we just won't have a country very long. Here today,
keep doing things you are doing, we won't have a country very long.
Fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
Ouch.
Thank you, Jeff. Stories like Jeff's remind us that tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much. No, you're not. Oh.
Tariffs right here.
And look where Biden took us. Very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States. Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping
What the hell has she even done?
future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John.
Come on, mention Ukraine already.
Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes...
He cares so much about women. He cares a lot about women. That's why he'll grab them by the genitals.
I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind.
And he'll just kiss them and try to move on them like a bitch.
That I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities all throughout the world. Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
You mean the SS? Yeah, I haven't seen it. Anything good.
And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, the law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to. Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Lakin Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Lakin was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Lakin was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing
Now here's the thing.
across Biden's open
Here's the
southern
thing,
border,
right?
and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies.
Listen to how he's wording this there. An illegal alien, right?
Was indeed
Now, here's the thing.
administration. He had
I don't feel like he's trying to make the point of, oh, somebody killed him, right?
a Democrat-run sanctuary city.
He's saying that, oh, right?
For ending the life of this
What he's trying to convey through his language is that, oh, everybody's bad, right?
With us this evening are Lakin's beloved mother, Alice.
He's literally putting the blame game on everybody.
Last year I told Lakin's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
Hold on, I will, maybe later. Sorry if you get cancer, you're not entitled to damage from cancer for your ears. Holy shit, that was a violent crash. Liberty dies with thunderous supplies.
Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown in American history. And we
WS? What's that mean?
the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
Trailmakers.
Friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Actively watching the economy go down. Yesterday, Dow Jones was at like 43,600. Or 43,100, sorry. And now it's at 42,500, down 600 points.
Borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before.
Yeah, I go to Heartland, right? And
Now, just as I promised,
I go to college, I go to school. I've never seen a shitload of illegal aliens in my school. Never, I mean, pretty much everything is, you know, the majority of people where I live is white. I live in a blue state of all places.
there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Gary from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last year,
Oh, no, here's the thing.
12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border.
See, look.
The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation. Alexis,
You can build different vehicles.
we would always remember your daughter, innocent daughter. Earlier tonight, I signed and
That is a little bit out of my abilities. I'm sorry.
34,000 acre sanctuary for all of God's creatures. Gulf of America.
Gulf of Mexico.
Alexis, moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Build this. Although it's not the best creation. This is... Yeah, I'm not calling it Gulf of America. Gulf of America is kind of stupid. Let's call it Gulf of Mexico. I'm gonna do it. I mean, you could try. Literally, everywhere else, it's called Gulf of Mexico, parentheses, Gulf of America.
Savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakers.
So yeah, I'm not gonna respect the name given to it by a person who is objectively a creep, who is anti-wind, which is my industry I'm going to, which is endorse the cuts of NWS, which yet I want to go into, who is threaten the penny. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the sub. Hello. Thanks for the sub. Huh. I don't know how I'd make a...
Officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening
Deport
is
yourself.
on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol agent Roberto Ortiz.
Again, you really want to be careful what he says, because he... over 30,000 lies by the Washington Post, which is conservative.
In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande, near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was heavily exposed, great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire, providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz...
Have you ever noticed that he can't read? Apparently, he can't read without glasses, apparently. I don't know. You'll never see him read.
We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you.
It's kind of odd, in my opinion. Just saying.
Got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time...
Let's go back to like an... Yeah, again. I feel like he's honestly afraid of pushback. I know I keep repeating this over and over. But what he's actually done is that he's streaming it on the White House. Again, there's no chat.
5 nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our...
How do you make a mech on this game? I've never really done it.
Imposed on them. Think of this. Handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA.
Oh.
Stop it. I have sent Congress a detailed funding request laying out exactly how we will eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send
Imagine if we had him back.
funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it. We must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics.
Blame game.
Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bond.
Everyone that's clapping in that room are traitors. Every last one of them. Dude, I see mechs all the time on this game.
Already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them. We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect.
You support police officers, yet you pardoned about 1,500 people who again attacked over 160 police officers.
The bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that later. Who not only attacked police officers, killed one, drove 5 to suicide, and injured over 100.
Women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice.
70 million people voted for you. There's 340 million people in the United States. Roughly that.
1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island.
Oh please, you care about cops. If you cared about cops, you wouldn't have pardoned those people.
His murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and 1-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you, man.
There's my dad. He's pretty much idiot sometimes. So yeah, the problem is we need gyroscopics.
Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest.
What the hell?
We're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. We get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order
That's called capital murder, and it's already a death penalty.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers.
It actually kind of makes me sick that he says he supports cops, but again, you know, those 1,500 people that assaulted Capitol Police cops and, again, drove 5 to suicide and killed 1? Yeah, screw those cops. What did those cops do anyway?
Who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is
You
13 years
don't
old
love our
and he has
police.
always dreamed of becoming a police
Stupid
officer.
traitor.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
There's my phone. Oopsies. Yeah, people are literally typing in the chat I'm watching. Capitol Police.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him, and tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
I'd rather be under you than this guy.
DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary
Says the fat
of
ass.
Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Robert F. Kennedy, you know, the guy that, you know, believes vaccines cause autism, which have been disproven many times. That was disproven in the 1990s. In the 1990s. I don't know.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been sharing. How quickly they forget.
I don't care how bad I sound. Kenny sounds like he has a wiener stuck in his throat.
Poisons out of our food supply,
I don't care.
our children healthy.
He's anti-vax, dude.
As an example, not long ago, you can't even believe these numbers. 1 in 10,000 children had autism. 1 in 10,000.
Oh my fucking god. I'm sorry if I swear. Nope.
There's something wrong. 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the people that are working with you. You have the best to figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
Oh my God.
My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools.
Oh boy.
A few years ago, January, Little John
Oh
and her
boy.
husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly, socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging
Yeah, I don't blame you.
to use a new name.
He's lost. He's tired.
Pronouns. They, them pronouns, actually. All without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you.
Child abuse. Words. Wait. If you're equating words to child abuse, doesn't that kind of make you sensitive? Ironic now, ain't it? I cannot make a Mac. It'll be a while till I ever make a Mac. I'll just fly around in my jet.
Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender.
But get this, you know, a lot of schools in Louisiana can put the 10 Commandments up. So I guess if you are, if you believe, you know, in the Jewish religion or the Islamic religion, I guess, you know, you just don't matter. Oh boy. The only thing that's being mutilated here is my friggin' ears.
And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that...
Isn't that already criminalized?
In the wrong body.
I'm pretty sure that's already criminalized, but, alright.
And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
More forced, not just political, but more forced religical ideation.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is...
We don't want you. 51% about...
It's gone. It's gone.
51% of people by Gallup testing don't want you. They don't like you. You're a bitch.
Our service members won't be activists.
God's probably gonna get ready to like take his own life because he's tired of hearing this. Can you imagine poor God? He had a son, Jesus. You know, Jesus is gonna bring harmony to the world, and then all of a sudden these idiots misinterpret his message. I feel so bad. I'm not religious, but I feel so bad for all the actual Christians out there that worship, you know, Jesus Christ and have to deal with this dog shit. And by the way, does this not sound culty to people? This sounds so culty.
Ago, where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had.
Nobody wants to die under either Biden or Trump.
Really a beautiful thing to
I don't want to die under idiots.
Again. It's very simple.
Until you can prove to me that this country, that you can actually make it better, I'm not going to sacrifice myself. I'm sorry. I love my country, I love my people. I don't love my government. I don't serve tyrants. Neither do I support them.
Like a young man, Jason Hartley, who knows the weight of that Call of Duty.
Call of Duty? Black Ops?
Grandfather and great-grandfather all wore the uniform.
Call of Duty?
Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good GPA.
4.5. I got better
GPA
GPA
to
than him.
attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into, but I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps Academy.
I wonder how many people are gonna look at this and be like, "Oh, look, everybody's cheering." These are literally all Republicans, which 97% of them support Trump. Unfortunately, they are basically all gonna suck up to him. Maybe I should just shut up and build another jet.
Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the
It's kind of weird how he's focusing a bit on, like, stories. Maybe it's just me, I don't know.
Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland. All made in the USA. Wanted to do it long ago, but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And other places they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it. And the United States should have it too, right, Tim? Right? They should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's
I love watching everybody just ripping on him in chat. That's
very
awesome.
dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a
Oh, look, my iPad's cutting out. It doesn't like him either.
of shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry.
Yeah, that's really the only good way they should do it, is actually put tax incentives for people coming into the country, like, or trying to build factories in the country. Because people are like, they're gonna be in the country like, hey, you know what, this will be expensive. Not tariffs. Tariffs don't work.
Will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports.
A large American company. Which one?
And lots of other things having to do with the Panama
You know, it's large, you should know about it.
Canal,
Like, larger than your ego.
The
What
Panama
company?
Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others. But others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
China. Let's see, Panama Canal owners.
Now,
Incident Canal Commission and Government of Panama. So I don't really see any China in there. Sorry there. Apologies. Apologies.
You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes, and I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you. Thank you. He's doing a great job. Great job. And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland.
Oh, God.
We strongly support your right to determine your own future.
Oh,
And if you choose,
shit.
we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And I think we're going to get it one way or the other.
We already have international security.
We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Sorry, I didn't mean to have your ears be murdered. Let's build another jet.
Especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown. That would Putin saw what happened. I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many
His
of
buddy's
the
Italian.
parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call.
Something about everything about Epstein files. Why? You know what's funny? Is that he will go against child predators when the fact is he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Actually, not just friends. Making a jet, by the way. Not just, making, friends. He was like best friends with Epstein. A notorious child predator. Actual creep. Like actual horrible person.
One of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
It's funny how he claims he wants to go after weirdos, right? When he was friends with one of the most disgusting human beings on Earth.
And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine.
9:45.
Millions of Ukrainians are
But yeah, here comes Ukraine, here comes.
killed or wounded in this this horrific and brutal conflict with no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support
35 billion?
Ukraine's defense.
Hold on.
No security with
$666 billion. Outright lie right there. According to the United States, the U.S. Department of State.gov,
You want to keep it going for another 5 years?
calling Trump bad is a extremely offensive insult to the word bad. He is horrible. He is against predators, but he is friends with Epstein, which is one of the worst predators. He claimed
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans. But I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has...
He is a notorious liar, found by the Washington Post, which is a conservative outlet. He is advocating for jobs, yet he cuts federal workers' jobs in America.
Russian oil and gas, and they have...
He is a piece of human shit. He is a pinworm. He's an insult to pinworms.
Like taking candy from a baby, that's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by...
Yeah, because I am under one of the worst presidencies of human effing history. Well, not human history. Yeah, not human history, but American history.
From President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter.
You lived close to him, right?
Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be peace?
Russia's not ready for peace. Bullshit. If Russia was ready for peace, they would not be invading Ukraine right now. Bullshit. Hey guys, I'm attacking Ukraine. I'm ready for peace. I'm ready for peace.
It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing.
Bullshit.
It's time to end this war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago,
What if one of these sides is completely psychopathic?
Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home.
Oh, no, yeah, he's bad.
After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight.
He is bigoted, hateful, completely ignorant, and disgusting. And you know what? And before some smart-ass person walks my content and says, "Oh, you're just back because you're a liberal?" If he was a liberal, if he was a independent, if he was anything, I don't care what political party he's on, he's a disgusting human being. I really don't care. I don't. For example, I'm an independent. I'm an independent person, right? So I don't join either party. And if I saw somebody was being a creep on an independent party, I would definitely grill their ass.
And sound and with us, as fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just
Get her in the Congress.
there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked on.
He likes hot
stage.
MILFs. He likes hot moms.
And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later.
And again, another off-topic point I'm gonna bring up again is the amount of people that were criticizing Biden for being too old.
Snipers perch into a crowd of many thousands of people.
When people criticizing that Biden was old are completely hypocritical, because right now, when Biden was entering office, he was 78. Right now, you know,
a devoted father,
right now Trump is 78.
and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded
Like you
them
throw
from
yourself
the
on top of other
bullets
people's wives and daughters?
with his own body.
Joke.
Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. Two others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of two great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their two beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee.
She does not look thrilled to be there. She looks absolutely pissed. She looks like she could not be doing anything better with her time. They do not even... There is not one look of glee on their face. They look depressed.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his three beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's
And
that
it's
is
hate
going
like
to make
yours
our
that will
country
destroy us all.
majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that.
Well, if God saved you, God ain't doing a good job. Now, ain't he? You weren't saved by God. You were saved by your enormous wealth that allows you to buy expensive-ass meds and expensive-ass treatments to prolong your life.
Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers.
Yeah, they're all looking down at you and saying, wow, what a mistake.
Soared at Kitty Hawk, to the astronauts who touched the moon. Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices. And
Yeah, just wait till you realize that that's gonna come back and bite you.
Country and our freedom.
Because people are getting pissed. Every day, people grow against you.
That same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving.
Again, like he cares about love.
The American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will...
Not much longer if you keep it yourself in office.
And we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country. Because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil.
And killed all the Indians.
of a
Don't
perilous,
forget to leave that one
very
out.
dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world.
Well, they didn't
Gave us
extinguish you,
countless
you
modern
fascist.
wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic,
Forced free. Well, you're free unless you are, you know, an immigrant. Unless you're a transgender person. And yeah. Unless you're a DEI also, you're not, nah. Other than that, yeah, you're free.
Anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we're going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
Spout off. And lie. Again, let me put this in perspective. His approval rating is currently 45%, and this disapproval rating is 51. He went negative approval rating from literally most of his first term. He is regarded as one of the worst presidents. He drove up the debt. He drove up the debt. He screwed up the economy. All this shit. He failed to take action for COVID. He lied to everybody. And one day, these MAGA people, they're gonna find out. Because here's something that's gonna be true. Experience as a teacher is a bitch.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever
You said you were gonna make America great again in your first administration. Now it ain't.
And there you have it, President Trump addressing a joint session of Congress, his return to Washington, and his first speech of its kind in this second term that he's serving, a second consecutive term, but certainly back in Washington. You see Democrats leaving the chamber there, including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. A very divided chamber. We've seen the chamber divided in these times, but particularly so tonight. In fact, we talked about it before the speech even started. A bit of a challenge we've seen facing the Democrats of how to respond to what they perceive as a difficult 44 days in their view. There isn't sort of a unified response yet from the Democratic Party to a lot of what you've seen from the administration so far, the executive.
And that's like it. The speech is over. That was horseradish.
As you see President Trump walk back down into the crowd.
Go get your nighttime sleep, Trumpy.
Reaching out to
You're gonna need it.
The military, which he singled out a number of times, though they didn't applaud. They sat there as they often do during these addresses. Would not get involved, even though that chamber was a very involved chamber, really on both sides.
At the beginning, they were booing his ass.
The court, just there beside them, also singled out and thanked at one point. justices that are on the court because of Donald Trump, Kavanaugh, incoming Barrett, as he works his way. Elena Kagan there, Justice Kagan, Chief Justice John Roberts. You heard a lot from the president tonight about immigration. You heard him ask for a
no horizontal stabilization
from both chambers. You heard him talk about the tariffs tonight. The last 24 hours imposing those tariffs against Canada and Mexico, additional tariffs on China, announcing that reciprocal tariffs will go into effect in April 2nd. He made the joke about not doing it on April Fool's Day. So strongly signaling that there are even more tariffs to come.
Look at that. See that, people?
All over the world.
I don't care how much I'm cussing. See that? Right there?
Tariffs, particularly when
Every one of those people are Trump dick suckers. Every one of those people. Those guys are richer than you. Those guys have more money than you'll ever see in your entire life, no matter how much you try. They don't give a shit. Even if they wreck the economy, even if they lost half their wealth, they would still, and I mean they would still have enough money to survive. They don't care.
Less than 1% of the fentanyl seized coming
they don't. And if you think, again, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, if you think a billionaire cares about you, think again. It didn't work the first time, it's not going to work the second time.
As a negotiating tool, but actually a way to enrich the country. He said they're protecting the soul of our country. The tariffs are about making America rich again. And that, does sort of run counter to what we've heard from some Republicans who argue this is just sort of a temporary negotiating tactic. Now, that said, sources tell us that the president is expected to talk to Canadian President Trudeau tomorrow morning. That comes, of course, as his Commerce Secretary Lutnick had suggested there might be room to make a deal here, but not necessarily the clarity that I think a lot of Americans may have been looking for as they are bracing for these tariffs. And of course, as you mentioned, he noted those reciprocal tariffs.
Yeah, give me a second.
To go into effect on April 2nd. The president saying whatever they.
So yeah, that was boring. I only agreed with him on one thing, that you shouldn't really be hired off of like your identity. That's it. Wow. That is depressing. Again, and the biggest depressing part is that if you criticize them, you'll be called liberal, you'll be called everything. Even though not all people who basically, denounce him are liberals. I'm independent. And honestly, in my opinion, the liberals are are just letting this shit happen. They're not doing anything. Not that I'm seeing. Okay, give me a few. So yeah, that was cancer, you guys just witnessed. Sorry you had to witness it. I'm pretty sure there was people booing, right?
3 years. The reality is Elon Musk and the signs are largely
Tariffs is.
Will also be on the Democrat.
There were hundreds
And yes.
in our country. 2000 saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded. A 41-point jump.
Listen to that. See? Here's what's happening.
Just 1 month gain.
Biggest 1 month gain. And by the way, this is bullshit.
57-point swing. More Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction.
Which is
than the
false.
wrong direction. Back.
Gallup News, an independent, not Republican, not Democrat, show that only 45% people agreeing Trump.
It's
And
an
see,
astonishing
they're booing because they're calling him out on his bullshit, and he has to hit the hammer to call order. Ready?
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing
Hit it, see it?
record.
Bam, bam, bam. I think all the people that just did not want to hear him left. They didn't want to hear him. Cowards, I tell you. Every last one of them. Stupid bastards. But hey, here's the bottom line. We outnumber every last one of them. We do. We freaking... I'm gonna get on. Just give me a second. I'm sorry for keep mentioning it, but dude, the fact that he's like... He thinks that he cares about cops, like, bruh. We are living under a joke, dude. These bastards, these stupid oligarchs. Be right back. I'm getting on fish. I don't know how long I'll be on fish, though. I got like 2 hours to burn for the night. Shit. Okay, let's get on fish. Yeah, that was Cancer.